or shut up.
Yo, what is up, AD team? Austin Dunn. I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the harsh truth about calisthenics. So just to give you a quick intro, I have two YouTube channels. This fitness one that you're watching, and also a vlog channel where I talk about, you know, dating, self-improvement, and a part of that I talk about something called the red pill and a little bit of black pill stuff. And if you don't know what these pills mean, basically it's just showing like the true realities of a certain subject, and the subject that I did was dating. So I'll talk about female nature and the true and harsh realities of it. So me kind of analyzing the harsh realities of females and dating has led me to experience and notice realities in other subjects like calisthenics, fitness, and other aspects of life that a lot of people do not talk about. So that's why I'm doing this video. And also keep in mind, this video is not to demotivate anybody on their calisthenics progress or like show you that there's no hope, because there definitely is hope. We just gotta find our own certain point in our journeys to where we can reach our max level. But enough about the intro, let's go ahead and get right into it. Harsh reality number one about calisthenics is that you will not get super jacked just doing bodyweight training. And being somebody who has done calisthenics for years and been a strong advocate of it when it comes to building muscle, and even created many programs to help calisthenics focus people build muscle, I am not saying that calisthenics won't let you build muscle or you can't build muscle with calisthenics. I'm just saying there is a limit to it. Think about it, all the professional bodybuilders, all bodybuilders in general, do not only just do calisthenics. Even the people who only do calisthenics do not only do calisthenics, guys. They're adding weight to their body weight. So at that point, you're doing weighted calisthenics, which is pretty much a great bodybuilding type of progressive overload you can do to build even more muscle. And they're mixing it up with other weightlifting compound movements, shoulder press, bench press, squats, stuff like that. This is for my people who only do calisthenics. You're not gonna get to that super jacked type of physique, you know what I mean? You're gonna probably have that lean cut with a little bit of muscle-based type of physique to you, which if that is your goal, that's not an issue at all. I know a lot of people's goal is to have that physique, but if at one point you wanna get bigger and bigger, you're either gonna have to start adding weight to yourself, to your calisthenics movements, or start mixing it in with other weightlifting principles. And that is why me, myself, I'm a hybrid athlete, and I do have a hybrid program coming out too. So stay tuned for that. Harsh reality number two is that your genetics will determine how fast you progress with bodyweight training. And me, myself, I feel like I am blessed when it comes to that aspect of bodyweight training, because I literally have near perfect genetics in order to progress fast in the style of training. That is why I personally have excelled in it. Your genetics are determined in regards to your progress by your height, your frame structure, how fast you're able to build muscle. Are you naturally more of an overweight person? Stuff like that. All these little details play a part into how fast you will progress. Did you start it out more skinny like me and you kind of build your way up? How big are your hands? People with bigger hands tend to hold handstands easier and learn handstands faster. How naturally mobile and flexible are you without even training for flexibility? You probably have an easier time learning certain skills than others. So that's all I'm trying to say. And that is also why you cannot compare your progress towards somebody else who doesn't have the same genetics as you, because it is not reality at all. So your best bet is to find somebody who reached your goals, who also has similar genes to you in regards to like their frame, their stature, their height, their muscle build, and see how fast they progress. And from there, that's when you'll get a reasonable ballpark. Harsh reality number three is that the lighter you are, the better. What I'm trying to say is more muscle doesn't always mean better with calisthenics, because the more heavier you get, the harder everything else is going to be. So that's why you really have to find balance between wanting to build a lot of muscle versus wanting to being able to be good at calisthenics, because it can be a hard balance to find. And even me myself, when I find times that, you know, I'm a little bit heavier but I look solid, I'm bigger, my calisthenics takes a downfall quite a lot. But also when I'm lighter, like how I am now, I've lost a bit of weight and I'm leaner, I feel my calisthenics is a lot better even though I'm not as big. So it can definitely be a mental type of thing. And actually, I got my scale right here. We're gonna check out my weight. Let's go ahead and do it. 173 on the dot. If you've been watching my videos, I've been from 165 to like 180, always in that sort of range. And plus, I actually weighed myself earlier this morning. I was 169, not even joking. I just ate breakfast too. So definitely lost quite a bit of weight. But like I said, I'm a lot better at my calisthenics right now. And speaking about the scale, guys, if you want to make your progress even faster with everything regarding dieting and building muscle, you need to be consistently weighing yourself, and so that you can track your progress and see a visual representation of it besides just a mirror. And the scale that I use, if you see right here, is by Vanity Planet, and they're actually the sponsor of this video. Now, the reason they are is because this scale is absolutely amazing, guys. Not only does it just track your weight digitally, but when you step onto it, you see that little Bluetooth emblem right there? That's because this scale is actually app integrated. So what does that mean? It means that you download the FormFit Plus app, and then from there, it will tell you your certain measurements in regards to your BMI, your body fat percentage, your fat-free body weight, your subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, body water, and all these different types of measurements that you can actually see. And it's pretty cool because I've actually used a scale in the past, and before it was app integrated, it only showed body fat percentage, but now it shows all this other cool stuff. So let me show you how to use it real quick. I like to put my app by the scale, and then from there, when I step on it, you see how it's integrated into the app right there? And then from there, after you step off, it should tell you all your certain data points. So let's go ahead and take a look at mine. I'm 12.8% body fat. I've definitely lost body fat percentage because in the past this has read like 14%. Weight 173. I see all these measurements, so it's super cool. And if you guys are serious about tracking your progress, you need one of these scales. And lucky for you, in this video, if you check down below, you can get one for under $80 if you use my code to save a ton of money on it. I put a lot of people on the scale over the past 3-4 years, so if you haven't gotten on it yet, then definitely do it, because this makes a great holiday gift for you, a friend, or even yourself. And like I said, it is definitely needed. So check the link down below in the description. Let's move on to more harsh realities. Harsh reality number 4 is that a lot of calisthenics skills might be impractical for you personally to learn, given your genetics or your time investment for it. A lot of people don't realize this, and I've realized this myself. That is why sometimes I feel like I've hit a peak with calisthenics, and I think it's because of this reality. For example, a lot of people ask me about the one-arm handstand, and I've seen some people like learn the one-arm handstand a few years or whatever, but for me, based on my body proportions and my mobility, which the one-arm handstand takes a lot of, I think is honestly impractical for me to focus seriously on one-arm handstand training. Or another one was a Hephaestus. I have a really long bicep tendon, and it's also very sensitive too. So when I put my body in that position, also given my shoulder mobility, I'm in actually a lot of pain. So that's not like a reasonable skill for me to learn. And the one-arm handstand is potentially something that I could learn if I was to solely focus on that and kind of disregard everything else. But for me, that's kind of impractical, given that I can kind of do everything else already, and I'm pretty, content with that. So it's really going to depend based on your genetics and the thing you want to learn. But just know that you might reach a wall with certain skills. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be real with myself. I'm never, like, based on my body type and everything, I'm never gonna be doing 2-finger planches. It's not gonna happen. And we see the trend of people who can do skills like that. They're naturally have lighter frames. They're usually really short. I'm nearly pushing 6 foot, which is like not practical for learning super advanced calisthenics skills. Of course, you're gonna have some outliers out there who are just like crazy gifted, and all the power to them. But for the average person, it might not be in our best interest. And you can see this with Olympic sports, guys. This is literally the case with Olympics. Think about it, gymnastics, all the top level elite gymnastics people, all the top elite level swimmers, track runners, everything. If you look at their bodies, they are genetically gifted to do the sport that they're doing, and they've been doing it long term since they were kids. And you never see a swimmer who is 5'6" with not wide clavicles. You never see an Olympic level gymnast who is 6'2" and has beefy legs. You know what I mean? So you gotta really play a part into your genetics, and that's a harsh reality that a lot of people don't want to talk about. but it's actually very, very true. And maybe you haven't experienced it yet, but you might experience it here in the future. Reality number 5 is that the best people who do what they do in regards to calisthenics didn't overcomplicate it. They just did it and learned it, and it came more easy to them. I've seen this with many advanced calisthenics athletes because I've been able to talk with them and kind of learn their take on certain things. And you'll be surprised, a lot of people learn stuff and they have no idea on how they did it or how they learned it. They just act like they do so that they can teach you guys or show what worked for them. But like I said, in reality, they have no clue on how they learned the planche. They have no clue how they were able to get a front lever. They just trained it here and there and they were able to get it. They didn't approach it in like a strategic, perfect type of training system way. They just were genetically gifted for it and learned it pretty fast. And I find that with some of the things I've learned too. I took more of a strategic approach to most of my training, but some things did come a lot easier for me than it did for other people. For example, the muscle up. People have whole muscle up programs, like teaching people how to do the muscle up, the best practices, this and that, really like simplifying the muscle up for people. But those people who learned the muscle up, all they did was learn pull-ups and started making them pull-ups more explosive, and then one day they got the muscle up. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is that if you're finding yourself overcomplicating movements and trying to figure out the best way to learn this, best way to learn that, be careful on who you go to in regards to how they teach it, because a lot of those people do not know how they learned it. They just trained it and it just came to them. And I know it's the best people who do what they do. This can be outside of calisthenics too. That's quite often the case, to be honest. And if you talk with them, you'll actually start to find out. So guys, those were the 5 biggest harsh realities with calisthenics that I found and have realized. Like I said, this is not to make you lose hope with your own calisthenics journey or whatever you're doing. You just have to find your personal peak point and then leverage your personal strengths so that you can become the best version that you can be. You might have like crazy pulling strength, so your pulling skills are immaculate and awesome, but for some reason your shoulder mobility is whack and handstands are just tough for you, or maybe, I don't know, it can go with pretty much anything. But like I said, find the best thing that works for you, then capitalize on that and keep going. So that was the video. Subscribe, like, don't forget to check out the Form Fit Plus scale. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.